And hello, everyone. I'm Dan Lutz, and I'm here with,
Tank?
and we're here on the front lines in the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminonkeys, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. How's it going, Tank?
Oh, it's been a long day, but I can't complain. Everything seems to be coming together. Got some news. Don't know if it's good or bad yet, but got some news that until I confirm it, I can't say if it's good or bad. But hopefully it's true.
Yeah, hopefully it's true.
But I don't have anything to report.
I would say,
hopefully it's true.
I would say if it's true, it's fantastic news.
It's fantastic news if it's true.
If it's true, it's fantastic news.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll see.
We'll see. I'll cross my fingers and my toes.
Yeah. Hopefully that helps. And maybe that'll be what puts the soul in.
Yeah.
Like, God will be looking down and going, if they didn't cross the fingers and the toes, we might not have gone with this, but we are.
Well, I'll throw in crossing the feet while the toes are crossed, and the hands while the fingers are crossed.
Yeah. So, man, what's going on today? I was kind of knocked out today, a little bit under the weather.
Well, the only thing it appears that that I want to focus on is really on Q maps, and this was really from yesterday. There's one that came after this today, and just I'll share it with you, but I'm sharing with them, the audience already. And it's pretty simple. It just says, to be blunt, ... little space ... game over. So this was, again, as I said, yesterday, February 18th, 2020 at 10:29 a.m. So Q is saying game over. Now, there's some references to game over that, kind of like shall we play a game? That old, I guess 1970s movie or 1980s movie, something like that, where the computer was taking over.
Was Matt McConaughey or something like that?
Yeah. And
it's like, do you want to play a game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like Kim's favorite joke. That's her favorite joke.
Well, maybe it's just Kim saying game over. Right?
Let's hope. Well,
so this seems to be, the time period where as we said, eye of the storm. We went through this first, period with Trump and everything building up and the Great Awakening, and now the impeachment is over, and now it's kind of quiet. Right? The first that just before we got into the eye of the storm, we were crossing through this 1 week period, this 10 days. Where Trump was, all these positive things coming out, boom, 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 and the Democrats had impeachment, fail. Yeah, so game over, and we're in this quiet period, so we're not quite sure. I mean, like Trump was interesting enough. He was in Los Angeles, and he secured the Olympics for Los Angeles for 8 years from now. So, but he also brought up that, hey, Los Angeles, you got to clean up your city. If you don't, we will. And I thought that's
right.
I think that's pretty out there, right? That's like the federal government is going to invade California and clean it up.
Yeah.
What if Governor Newt's in there? Is they going to go? No, we don't want your help. We want China to come in and help.
Right. That's really interesting. Yeah, because they're pretty defiant, right? They were putting out all these stats the other day about how most of the economic growth in the country is coming from California, and California is this. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm going to check these statistics, try to glorify this California's massive. It's like clearly all the major cities have been run to the ground.
Yeah, and I lived most of my life in Los Angeles, and it was great when I first moved to California from Pennsylvania. Uh, I said, this is the greatest place on earth, right? But I saw it change from a business friendly environment, right? And that's when it was through the '80s. It was run by Republicans, right? And once the Democrats took over, it just slid and continues to slide. It made business so difficult, especially Los Angeles. To do business in Los Angeles. So everything there was done in such a horrific way, right? It was just amazing. Any business is still there, but if Trump's out there saying, "Hey, we're going to come in and take it over," that's the way I took it, right? That we're literally saying, "We'll fix it." How are you going to do that, right? How is he going to come into a state and clean it up?
Right.
Very interesting.
But
so what does he actually?
10,000 Marines. 10,000 Marines would be a good start.
Yeah. If there's already 10,000 Marines already stationed there. I saw one article by Breitbart saying that that there were these shock troops already ready to go. I don't think I have that set up. Maybe I'll look and see. I think I don't have it already to go, but I'll take a look. Oh, I do. I don't know if can you see it right now?
And I think so. Actually, I don't know where my phone is. So I'm just wearing my headset.
Okay.
There it is. Okay.
Okay, Breitbart report: Trump deploying elite tactical agents to 10 sanctuary cities.
Oh, okay.
From February 14th, so this is just a couple days ago. The president is deploying a group of elite tactical agents to sanctuary cities across the United States to increase the number of arrests and criminal illegal aliens, report states. According to sources who spoke to the New York Times, Trump is sending about 100 agents of the elite U.S. Border Patrol to tactical units known as BORTAC to sanctuary cities such as Detroit, Chicago, New York, New Jersey. Newark, New Jersey, San Francisco, New Orleans, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Houston, and Boston. The BORTAC agents are expected to help Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) agents with deportation operations between February and May in an effort to increase the arrests of criminal illegal aliens by 35%, according to emails read to the Times. So this is interesting because it's basically these are sanctuary cities. And Trump is basically sending troops to the sanctuary cities to do what they don't want done. So this is civil war in essence, but it's such a soft civil war.
Soft civil war.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know how soft it really is, but I guess that's what they want us to believe, right?
Right.
Because unless you're directly impacted, I guess the goal is to keep us out of it. But I don't know. I mean, I remember when I was dealing more directly with the White Hats and stuff. I mean, I would get reports on real activity going on all over the country, like real military operations taking place everywhere. So I guess there's always stuff going on that we just don't even notice.
Yeah. Well, these Marines have been called up, right? These reserves were called up. There was a reason to do it. Now, these aren't Marines they're talking about. These are, specifically, border enforcement agents that are, trained, right? But they're sending 100 to each of those cities. to pick up bad guys. Like when Trump usually says that they're going to do they did mass deportations. Everyone was upset. He only deported MS-13. He only picked up the bad guys. So he's not really. So it's really hard for them to go down on him, right, and go against what he's doing, because every time they do, he's already outsmarted because he's like, well, I only took out MS-13. You want them to stay here, so they can't argue.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, I found that interesting. Anyway, so after Trump, finished here in Los Angeles, he took off on a plane. He was now heading to, I guess, Vegas, Nevada. Right. So
It's really interesting. Yeah. I like what Dan Mangino had to say. Because I think this is a good point, right? It's like, well, why is there so much fuss, right, about all this? It's like, these are criminals, right? It's not a matter of if they're illegal or not. These are criminals that we can, and it's much faster to think about, right? If you can arrest someone and deport them, right, there's somebody else's problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get them out of the country versus if you have to arrest them, put them through our justice system, which could cost a lot of money, right? Like, even if they murder somebody, it takes like $1 million to finally bring them, to justice or to sentence them, right? To sentence them to life or whatever else, death penalty. But if you just deport them, it's much, much more efficient, right? You get rid of a lot of criminals really quickly, right? But they're all criminals is the problem. He said, Biden said this, he said, Democrats have blanket immunity in our justice system on the following issues, right? So, number one, lying under oath, right? No penalty for them. This is Logan Act violations, election interference, political spying, violent speech suppression, and foreign collusion. Those 6 issues, they violate those crimes all the time. You'll literally see Republicans go to jail for those things.
Yeah.
If you're a Democrat, no. If you try to prosecute a Democrat on that, you're a racist.
Well, there is an exception to that. They're the rhinos, like Mitt Romney.
Ah, yes.
Right. So they're not real Republicans, right? So that's why they get to, they're really, really Democrats in Republican clothing, and so they're able to, do these things like Mitt is in on the Ukraine stuff, along with all the other Democrats. So, I found here's another little interesting thing. So Trump was talking about a couple of people that he pardoned just right now, and one of them was Michael Milken. And Michael Milken was the junk bond king. You may remember, I think back in the 80s, where they made all these junk bonds and they were selling them, and they made loads and loads of money as these stockbrokers sold these worthless bonds, and so everyone was buying in it. Everyone was making money initially until, of course, their junk, the bubble popped, and so Michael Milken went to jail. Now, since Michael Milken got out of jail, though, he's made his own foundation, and he's started doing a lot of, let's just say, good things for the community at large, right? Did a lot of helpful things in education and health and all sorts of other things. So, put money to good uses, and so he's been pardoned now because of all the good works he's been doing. A friend of mine, it was a good friend of mine that was Michael Milken's right-hand man during that time, right? And he ended up getting out when he saw what was going on, right? When that happened, when he figured out this was all junk, he left. All right, he couldn't do it. And so he ended up, so he told me a lot of the stories from back at that time. So knowing what was going on in the financial world. So anyway, that it was interesting. Just that I heard that today. That he pardoned a few people, and I think he's pardoning people and bringing it up and telling people, because everyone's expecting him to pardon Roger Stone, right?
Right.
But he's talking about the other people that he's pardoned.
Right.
Oh. So I guess the other thing so Trump is on his way to Nevada. Why? Because that's where the next primary is. And Trump is going in, and he's holding these massive rallies, right? And stealing the thunder away from all the Democrat rallies. And this is also where we're going to see Bloomberg, in a debate. I think it's tomorrow. So that
Bloomberg's in a debate tomorrow with who?
the other Democrats.
Oh my gosh! You want to talk about a snooze fest? It's like how many different ways can you describe enslaving people? Like, listen, rich people are going to have money. We're going to increase your taxes and increase their taxes, but you're not going to have any more. You're not going to have anything more than what you already had, but you're going to work a lot more, and we're going to spread the money around. Like, what?
Well, this one might not be such a snooze fest because now we've got all these socialists there that have been bashing billionaires, and they're all now complaining that he's stealing the election or he's buying the presidency. All right, so they're going to attack Bloomberg. We're going to see Biden attack him, and Warren attack him, and Pete Buttigieg attack him, and Amy is going to attack him. Well, let's do it this way. Whoever does not attack him, look for that one to be Bloomberg's go-to to fund when Bloomberg pulls back, because no one's going to elect him, right? But he's in the race, so he'll become vice president, right, and get all the money in there. But whoever doesn't attack Bloomberg, look for him to be be the presidential candidate behind, with Bloomberg behind. My complete guess at that.
Wow.
Because I don't see how Bloomberg could be the selected one. I can't see it. Even the last time around, 2 years ago, he funded all of these candidates to give Nancy Pelosi the majority in the House. It was Bloomberg's money that did it. He put $100 million in. So he's playing a different game, right?
Right.
He wants to own the Democratic Party, lock, stock, and barrel.
Right. He doesn't want the burden of being president. Yeah.
I mean, he might say, "Well, you run, and then after 3 years of or after 3 months or something, all right, you bow out, and then I'm the president because I can't get elected directly because no one's going to vote for me. I'm Mini Mike."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense. I mean, if it was Mike Bloomberg and Hillary Clinton, that would be a pretty, that'd be like the all-star ballot, right? But
but everyone says the same thing. Mike better get a taste tester for his food.
Oh my gosh, I know. Get one wrong step, man, you're done.
Yeah.
Well, what would be very interesting though is like, what if you just actually applied the justice system suddenly, fairly, right? And say, okay, well, if this is what you want to do, like, these 1,100 hacks who are trying to go after Attorney General Barr, well, they're basically they're Barr affiliated attorneys who are basically calling him out because he's actually trying to enforce the law, right? And they're like, no, man, we run the show. You can't do that, right? That's really what's happening.
You're right, really. But now you have a list. of who needs to be removed.
Oh, that's one of the best things they could have done. Like, thank you for that very comprehensive list of exactly who's on board with all of those crimes, right?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for raising your hand.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so it's hilarious when you think about it. So then, but imagine if you just went across the board and said, okay, well, here's the crime. So we're going to look and see who violated this crime. Right? And we're only going to take it seriously. Like, so Ryder Stone, like, even the interviewing agents were like, no, you can't arrest him for this. I mean, like, it wasn't a big deal. We didn't take him seriously. Like, the things he was lying about, like the side things, like, it wasn't a big deal, right?
Right.
Like, it wasn't anything imperative that cost any damage or hurt any lives, right? That's what the standard should be. But, but Comey, under oath, is alive, blatantly, right? I mean, you've got all these other characters, right? We know that are guilty of these things. John Kerry, he's out there, like violating the Logan Act. Barack Obama violating the Logan Act, right? There's a reason why these things are in place. This
right.
is treated.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, we have video of like, John Kerry there, in cahoots with these guys. Like, what are you meeting them for? Like, what are you talking to them about? Like, well, you don't get to be buddies with Iran after you leave office.
Well, so it's not. I don't think people should ignore the fact that No Name McCain was basically taken out because of treason. He was put to death because of treason.
Yeah.
Who else is now in line? It's not like they're going to get lesser punishment. They're going to take them out. They're going to basically put to death. Right, because that is at that level when you're talking about the whole upper level of government being completely taken over by a cabal of foreign agents that are looking to make a worldwide government and suppress this one, right? It is ultimate treason, right? That's what they were doing. And this is the level of the battle.
Reason. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's literally the whole upper level of government across the board over many countries. It wasn't just America, right? You could take all of Five Eyes and say that's the core group. Right?
And all that information is available. That's the thing. It's not a secret, It's like their worst nightmare. They would have compromised anything. They would have compromised anything not to violate or to offend, Marduk.
Right.
But Kim was there.
Well,
right? And they're doing anything they can to suppress her.
Well, Glenn Beck had this broadcast where he was talking about that he had these audio recordings of Ukrainian officials speaking to one another, right? And one of them said to the other that Hillary Clinton is part of the American hegemony, political hegemony. And that, they're the untouchable, right? These are the ones that will always be there and in control. So you have to go along with whatever they are saying, right? And we know those are let's just say that the rumors are that Hillary's real background is Rothschild, right?
Yeah.
And that so we're really talking about her being the head of the Blue Dragon group right now for the Rothschild side of this, and we really see that this is back to China, right? And there were So who, and one of the other things I've seen is like, how they say, well, Russia, don't look at China, right? And on the other hand, everyone says, well, look at what's happening at Russia, right? Well, I mean, look what's happening at China. Don't look at Russia. Russia's the good guys, right? So now, so the thing is that it's both, right? It's both Russia and China had bad guys, right? And it is playing again. It's the division, right? It's the dividing up. Look over here, no, not over there. Look over there, not over here. And so, we have to see that, this is worldwide. It's the same group worldwide, and that's what we're really fighting here. It's not Democrats versus Republicans. It's not about just being American. It's about this worldwide cabal, deep state worldwide. Where they use where they use the CIA as the muscle around the world, right, to set up the groups, and that's why when you had the NSA form, right, there was this battle between the NSA and the CIA. And that's why the CIA sent over Snowden into the NSA so that he could blow the whistle on the NSA, saying NSA's bad. Look, they're spying on everybody, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the CIA quietly.
Yeah, said the CIA. So this is the battle, and this is the war that's going on, and it's a worldwide civil war.
Yeah,
and that's and what we can look forward to, though, in this is that when we've completely removed them worldwide, that we really will have a new world where the world is unified. So it won't be a one world order. It would be a one world community.
Right, filled with individual and unique and different values that are true to every area, which are perfectly fine to have, right?
Right, where we will have all the common things that are human, like love of our children, love,
respect of our women. Every time I turn around and see one of these radically Islamic-based countries beating a woman because she's showing her ankles or something, I'm like, are you kidding me? How can you possibly think that's real? But,
well, I would say that this is something that we can see is really happening. Not
that it's not real, but I'm saying, well, how can you think that's the way to live? Is what I guess what I'm trying to say.
Well, okay,
let's.
It's
happening, but.
Well, I'm not so happy with this idea where the women are treated as slaves, right? I think that is where there's a problem, owned as property, and that does exist around the world, and that was the way it was at some point, and but this is where they try to export this to, like, say, England, for example, where you have these groups of males that are from Muslim countries that are now taking the British women and then gang raping them in the streets. Right? And then you're not allowed to go after them. What is that all about, right? That's a cultural thing that you want to support? No, this is not acceptable in any country.
In any country, right?
In any country, right? So what are they trying to say, though? I mean, what is this? It's the breaking down. They're trying to break down society and say this is a good thing. The women, you're not wearing your hijab, so you're able to be gang raped. Is that what the message is? So it's to force women into being property.
To dressing like ninjas all the time.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. I took my daughter to the library here, and there was a devoutly Islamic woman there with full ninja gear on, right? And I'll be honest, I was very uncomfortable, right? Because I'm thinking to myself, like, your views are so radical. I don't know what you're hiding in your clothes. A large portion of religion is that you believe you're superior, right? and your personal beliefs are so suppressed that you will hide yourself completely. Anything about being a woman is completely hidden. So you're willing to subject yourself to anything. So, I mean, like your whole identity is gone, right? You're not allowed to talk to men or whoever. Like, you go into the library, right? And my child has been out there, and then the idea is, well, if this makes you uncomfortable, then you're a racist. Well, but it's not a race, number one. But number two, it's like, no, this is a set of values and belief systems that are, contrary to the whole idea of having a community that expands and can connect, right? It's by nature, it's partisan by nature, right? It naturally divides you from everyone else. But I'm also, on top of that, it's like, I'm also constantly talking about these conspiracies, constantly exposing things, have threats to my life on a pretty regular basis, right? I've had people in our organization, the outskirts of our organization who, I would say there's a good possibility they don't target it on purpose, right? I mean, we're gathering up death tolls today on just this past year. I'm not just like, death by like natural causes, but like death by like things that like we know there's potential hazards, right? Like there's real things there. So when you start to think about things like that, it's like it's almost impossible to be comfortable, and feel safe, other than just the sheer willpower of just being like, I refuse to be afraid, right? But based on the society that they've created, it's such a broken system, and this book, Practical Idealism, that talks about the Islamicization of Europe, right? These stages, and there's a really extensive book about this actually that Lane Keller brought to my attention, where he talks about the author talks about all the different ways that they go through this, to create this fear-based world, and you can see it in Iran, and you're seeing it in England too. Nobody even talks about all the crimes committed, and even the journalists that do speak out, they either get imprisoned or they get exiled from the country. So it's a mess. It's a mess.
Well, this is so having these different, that we can agree upon in a general basis that are against, freedom, against individual rights. I think this is where we can start having the discussion, between things that are different in countries. It's not about overwhelming every other country's, ideas. I mean, like for, India, for example, the women are clothed from their ankles to their necks, right? They're wearing saris and there's no problem with that, right? That's their expression, and they're being modest, right? And there's nothing wrong with modesty, So,
right.
but when it's forced and that someone doesn't want to do it, all right? Then they
shouldn't be beaten.
They shouldn't be beaten, right? Yeah. So, and that's where we have to go bring down to the individual, right? Now, if there's those individuals that demand to be recognized as a whipping post, because that's their gender is a whipping post, and that they want to be beaten. Okay, well, just don't put that into law that everyone has to basically respect that, and call you a whipping post, or you're going to take them to court. So.
I mean, it's like look, if you want to work at Hooters, right, and there's a uniform that you have to wear to work at Hooters, right?
I really don't want to.
I'm just saying, Dan, if you want to, though, you can, right? You have that right, and I think that's one thing. I said, well, that's a decision that you're making to work in this place, and they have the right to tell you, look, either you have to wear this uniform because this is a standard uniform, or you can't work here. But they don't have the right to beat you, right? If you don't do it. So it's kind of, I don't see the religion being so much different than that. It's like the same principle. So.
Yep, I get it. Well, we can. The good thing is we're at this point, right, where we can see if the cabal gets removed, the deep state gets removed worldwide.
I'm about it, man.
Yeah, we're there. We're at the point of the through the eye of the storm, and now we're going to start seeing the wind going the other direction, and that's what it's going to be fast. These things that are going to be coming and falling. So that's why pointing out what Q had said, game over, or what Kim said, whatever.
Right. Right. Whoever it is, where the source is.
Yeah, you can ask Kim. Game over? Question mark.
Well, it should be. So, hey, I'm hopeful. I'm looking forward to the next day, the next piece. Can't be too far off.
Yeah.
That's all I got, man. That's all I got for now.
Well, it sounds good. We can call it a show, and come back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you. Everybody have a great night. Talk soon.
All right. Good night. All right, everyone. Please subscribe, thumbs up, share the video, get the word out. And if the news is really correct, it's really good news. Tune in tomorrow. Please join us at www.wg1wga.love and sign up if you'd like to give a monthly contribution of $1.11, $8.88, or $99.99 a year. Those are there. I'm going to be adding a couple other membership packages that will include gold grain coins, and you'll be able to get into the grains from there, and we'll walk you through how to get those into your own wallet. And that's we'll see what happens tomorrow. Anyway, have a good one. Bye bye.